And good afternoon. I'm Power 5 meteorologist Kyle Adams. Just wanted to hop on here really quick and update you on a few thunderstorms that have been developing over the past couple of hours here in Northeast Ohio. Really in between the 80 and 76 corridor here in Northeast Ohio. Now, currently we don't have any warnings with any of these storms, but the concern is with some of these storms, especially that have been over Trumbull County here over the past about 45 minutes or so. We're seeing some, well, they're slow movers, first of all. And, with those slow moving storms, we're going to expect to see some pretty heavy rainfall rates with some of these storms. We're already seeing aerial flood advisories for parts of southern Trumbull County right now. But as we look at our radar, you can see that basically a line from about Medina all the way across and just south of 80 over to about Warren and into Mahoning County. We're seeing some pretty heavy rainfall rates with these thunderstorms that are moving through. A lot of lightning with these storms. None of them have reached, well, one did reach severe limits about 30 minutes ago over Trumbull County. But right now we're seeing just some heavy rainfall with these storms and some, sporadic gusty winds with some of these storms as well. But for now, no warnings with any of these storms. But the big concern is as we zoom in, you can see really just to the south of 80. So through Ravenna right now, just south of Hudson, these storms are moving at about 15 miles per hour or so very slowly, and really anywhere from just north of Cuyahoga Falls through Hudson, just south of Hudson, Ravenna, over into Newton Falls, and just south of Warren right now. These storms, again, moving about 10 to 15 miles per hour off towards the southeast. So we could see some pretty heavy rainfall rates. So let's look at some of those rainfall rates and see what we're looking at here. So as we change to our 3-hour rainfall totals here over the past 3 hours, of course, you're seeing over Newton Falls and really just to the south of Warren, upwards of an inch, in some places about 2 inches of rain. It looks like over Newton Falls approaching 2 inches of rain here in the past 3 hours. So those are pretty heavy rainfall rates with these storms moving through. Again, the big concern isn't essentially the wind or the severe weather in general. It's some localized flooding that we could get with some of these storms. So really the heaviest rainfall has been over Newton Falls right now. You see some of those yellows showing up just in between Newton Falls and Lordstown, indicating that probably over 2 inches of rain has fallen over the last 3 hours. So that's getting pretty significant. Warren saw some pretty heavy rain with these storms earlier, but right now really in Trumbull County, in between Newton Falls and Lordstown is the place that we're watching for the heaviest rainfall rates over the past 3 hours. And really as these storms build off to the west, as we move towards Streetsboro, Hudson, and just south of 80, we're going to see those rainfall rates really ticking up as well. So we could see 1, maybe 2 inches of rain over the next probably hour or so as these storms continue to develop. And they've been developing pretty quickly over the past probably 2.5 hours here in Northeast Ohio. So let's go back to our reflectivity and take a look at those as we switch back to, there we go. Again, the severe weather threat in general today, it's pretty low. I wouldn't say it's zero, but it's pretty low. As I mentioned earlier, we did have a severe thunderstorm warning as this loops through. You can see it was for Trumbull County about 30 minutes or so ago. So I don't expect widespread, really, if any, severe weather with these storms, but the flooding is the concern here. So localized flooding is a possibility, especially just south of 80 right now. So that's really what I'm paying attention to over Ravenna and then over towards Lordstown and Newton Falls. So as these storms develop, and they're going to stick around probably for the next, I would say, 2, maybe 3 hours, they're going to continue to build and they're going to continue to kind of just move very slowly through Northeast Ohio. And all of us, especially probably Akron and East, have the best chance of seeing some pretty heavy rainfall over the next probably until about 7 o'clock here in Northeast Ohio. So back to the west, you can see some storms still trying to form over Medina, Bath, just to the northwest of Cuyahoga Falls. These storms, again, could be seeing, over the next 3 hours, rainfall rates of 1 to maybe 2 inches. Right now, no flash flood warnings or anything like that is in effect with these storms. But when you see these slow-moving thunderstorms developing and then you see them intensify pretty quickly as we have over the past hour or so, you always kind of worry about some localized flooding, some heavy downpours across the region. So that's what we're watching right now. So you can see them already building even over into Medina County. You can see Lodi and then staying all north of Akron right now. But even down into Akron, Greene, North Canton, I don't think we're going to stay completely dry. We still have a chance for some showers and some thunderstorms, but right now the heaviest is setting up basically from Lodi all the way up through the Cuyahoga Falls area, north of the Cuyahoga Falls area, Hudson, and then over through Ravenna into Trumbull County, where we've seen some of the heaviest rain really over the past hour and a half. So that's where we have this flood advisory in effect for parts of Portage County and Trumbull County. That's until 6:30. So again, that's where the heaviest rain is, especially just to the east of Ravenna, in between Newton Falls and Ravenna there on Route 5. So you probably know that area, and you can see just a lot of slow moving cells in that area. So something that we're going to keep an eye on over the next couple of hours here in the Power 5 Weather Center. Again, I'm meteorologist Kyle Adams. Just hopping on here to tell you just that we do have these thunderstorms that have been developing, especially in the heat of the day today. We've got like a very slow moving cold front that's basically draped across Northeast Ohio. And you can see where that front is because that's exactly where these storms are developing right now. And then as these storms slowly drift off to the southeast at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, they're going to put down a lot of rainfall in a couple of locations here. And right now, those locations are parts of Portage County, just to the east of Ravenna and over into Newton Falls and into southern Trumbull County. So that's where we're really keeping an eye for some of the heaviest rainfall, right now at least. And then as the evening progresses and we get probably towards like 6, 7 o'clock, we're going to see these cells really begin to die down quickly. These are cells that have developed, in the heat of the day. You've been outside today, it's hot, it's humid. Cold front's actually moving through right now. It's going to take some of that humidity out of the air for our Friday. But as this front pushes through, these storms are developed. Not a whole lot of forcing, not a very strong cold front moving through, but this front strong enough certainly to spark off these thunderstorms right now that we're watching in Northeast Ohio. So again, no warnings, but with just the slow moving nature of these cells, just know that if you live in Portage County, especially in the Ravenna area, over through Newton Falls and just south of Warren right now into Trumbull County, that's where the heaviest rainfall rates have been over the past 2 hours. And that's where these storms are continuing to just slowly move off to the southeast. And then again, by about probably 6, 7 o'clock, I would expect a lot of this activity to really begin to die off as we lose daytime heating and we head toward the overnight hours. There's just not a lot of forcing for these storms, but there's a lot of humidity and there is a cold front. There's a lot of water in the atmosphere to work with. So, and as you can see right now, there's a severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued actually for Portage County for that thunderstorm that's just over Ravenna and just around the Newton Falls area. So again, that's for winds that could gust up to 60 miles per hour. But my biggest concern with these storms is the heavy rainfall, okay? So real quick, let's go back and look at some of these rainfall rates with these storms. You can see that as we look at our last 3 hours, these thunderstorms, again, where this severe thunderstorm warning has just been issued by the National Weather Service for Portage County until 4:30, we're coming up on 2 inches of rain in the last 3 hours. So that's significant. Again, no flood warnings, no flash flood warnings. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for Portage County currently. Right now, that storm is just to the north and over the Ravenna area, really. So we can track that as we go back to our radar here. Hold on one second. Hold on, let's get that radar up. There we go, reflectivity. All right. So there you go. So right now, Ravenna, all of what is basically northern Portage County is under a severe thunderstorm warning. So that's until 4:30. Again, wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour possible with this storm as we move through the next 50 minutes or so. And heavy rainfall is certainly a possibility with this storm for Portage County, as it's going to just really just creep super slowly off towards the southeast at about 15 miles per hour. So again, that's where that rainfall concern comes from with that one. So let's stop this here at the end of the loop. And we'll just look at some of the towns right now that are seeing some of the heaviest rain. Really in between Ravenna, Charlestown, and you can see right there on Garrett Road, in between Garrett and Knapp Road, probably some heavy rain. Lightning wise, let's check that out. Let's see what the lightning looks like here with this. How much lightning are we getting with this storm? is. Okay. Oh, quite a bit of lightning. So big lightning producers, this one. You almost can't even see the radar. There's so much lightning showing up there. So certainly want to be indoors, right? You don't want to be outside in this one. There is a lot of lightning with this in northern Portage County. And with that lightning, that definitely indicates, when you see a lot of lightning, that indicates that you get some very heavy rain too. So lightning, certainly a lot of it. Winds, I'm concerned about the winds, but not as much as I'm really honestly concerned about the heavy rainfall that we're going to see with this storm. Let's turn that lightning off because, quite frankly, that's just kind of distracting. All right, so there you go. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Portage County, covering Ravenna over toward Newton Falls. Kent's just on the edge of that severe thunderstorm warning, but certainly I think the worst of this is really around the Ravenna area and in between Ravenna and Newton Falls, basically right now. So that's where the heaviest rain is. That's where the most lightning is here in Northeast Ohio. And with that severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4:30, we could easily see rainfall over the next probably hour that could easily be 1 to maybe 2 inches. So we'll be watching over the next couple of hours for flood warnings here in Northeast Ohio. If that does materialize, of course, we'll continue to update you on that. But for now, I think the biggest threat, even though there is a severe thunderstorm warning for Portage County, I think the biggest threat with these storms, because they're such slow movers, is a flooding potential, localized flooding potential. So just keep that in mind for northern Portage County. Now, I don't want to forget about everybody off to the west. Of course, we've got Summit County, northern Summit County, just north of Cuyahoga Falls. There's some thunderstorms, not as intense as just off to the east in Portage County. And then there's thunderstorms even through Medina and down towards Lodi that are developing even into Wayne County almost. So these, again, will continue to develop over the next hour or two. And then by about 6:30, 7 o'clock, I would imagine that these storms should begin to die down as we lose, the main daytime heating here in Northeast Ohio. So as we continue to zoom out, that's really it going on in Northeast Ohio. There's nothing really going on down in Stark County, here in Cuyahoga County, Cleveland area, not much in this area either. And I don't expect these storms to build much further north into Cuyahoga County, even up towards Ashtabula, Menor area. I think most of this activity is going to stay to our south here along the lakefront. And really the focus area is going to be basically, I think, Summit County, Portage County, and then into Trumbull County, and potentially down into Stark County over the next couple of hours. But we'll have to see if these storms continue to build and move south. But right now, they're such slow moving that the main focus is northern Summit, Portage County, and Trumbull County. All right, that's where the heaviest rain is going to be. That's where the lightning is. We'll see some stronger wind gusts up to potentially 60 miles per hour. But again, I'm not as worried about that. I'm worried about the rain, so the heavy rain potential. So again, we'll keep watching this. We're going to head out for now, but again, I will keep an eye on this over the next couple of hours, and we'll definitely keep you updated with these storms as they continue to develop. But for now, not expecting a widespread severe event by any means. We could see a severe thunderstorm warning or two over the next 2 or 3 hours, especially Summit County, Portage County, Trumbull County. But I think before it's all said and done, the biggest threat from these storms is going to be some localized heavy flooding. So again, if you live along the I-76 corridor and just south of 80 in northern Summit County, Portage County, and into Trumbull County, do expect some localized flooding with these storms because they're moving so slow and they are putting down some pretty heavy rainfall rates. So, all right, with that, I'm meteorologist Kyle Adams. We're going to get ready here for the 4 o'clock news, the 5 o'clock news, the 6 o'clock news. We'll be tracking these storms all throughout the evening, so be sure to join me there. And of course, I'll hop back on here if and when I get the chance here over the next couple of hours. So appreciate it.